Hey everyone, it is Pam here from Pam's Crafty Corner. It's been a while. Yes, I'm still wearing the same clothing from my January floss tube because I'm recording both of these videos at the same time. So I've got a January floss tube, just going over what I've worked on for the month of January. That should be up and posted. If it isn't already, it will be shortly. But I decided, because it's been such a long time since I sat down and kind of went over my projects, that I would do a WIP parade. A lot of people have done those. They tend to do them at the beginning of the year every year. So I thought I'd do I don't know if it's a parade of shame or how to exactly word that, but I figured I would show you what projects are my works in progress. And are ones that I'm carrying with me into 2023 and that I'm planning to work on this year. So sit back, grab yourself a drink. I have my iced coffee from Tim Hortons with my little crocheted cup holder. Keeps the condensation from, melting on my furniture. So there we go. Let's get to it. So these WIPs, the works in progress, are not in any particular order. I'm just going to pull them out. I have two kind of boxes here. Some of my Christmas pieces are all together. So let's have a look and see what we have. Okay, so this bag is a modern folk embroidery piece, which I can't remember the name of right now, but I will insert a picture with the name of it. So the modern folk embroidery piece, goodness knows what it's called. This was designed by Jacob de Graaf, and I purchased it through his website, and I'm doing this on, I don't even know what this is, 28, I think it's a 28 count linen, and I'm using a DMC floss. I can't remember the number of the floss specifically, but it's like a teal colorway. I have managed to complete the entire outer border. It's completely done. So when I pull this out to work on it next, I will just be doing the interior piece of this design. It is beautifully designed. I really like the piece. And because I'm doing it in a solid color, like one color, it's very relaxing to work on. I just need that particular color, pull out the floss, start stitching. And because I purchased the PDF chart, I am able to upload this one to Pattern Keeper, which just makes it easier to keep track of where I am on the chart. All right, that's piece number one. Just move this other stuff out of the way. Sorry. There we go. All right, piece number two. Oh goodness. So this is a Heaven and Earth design that I've had for quite some time. I did work on it in 2022. It is the Old World map. And this I'm stitching on 18 count oatmeal Aida. And I'm stitching it 2/1. And this is where I am so far. I've got the top corner of this done. It is a very large piece. This is the fabric I have for it. As you can see, it's gonna be huge. but it is a really, really nice piece. My intent is to finish this and frame it and have it hanging above my sofa in our downstairs family room sort of thing. But it is a really huge, huge piece. Lots of detail in this. And it is fun to work on. As I said, I've been using Pattern Keeper for this because I did have a PDF version. So because of that, I was able to work on it one color at a time and work my way through. So that's where that one is. And I do have to take the time to put these things away because if I have to put all of these away at the end, I'll be here all night. Okay. Next one is, what is this one? Oh, this is a really nice piece. This is And a Forest Grew. This was really popular a few years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's a Rosewood Manor chart. Absolutely stunning. I just love all of the little trees and the little motifs and colors. And again, this is a paper chart because it comes in a booklet, but it is just so lovely to work on. I'm stitching this one on 25 count white Lugana, and I'm stitching it 1/1. So it is very delicate, and the stitches are very tiny, but it is beautiful. I've gotten a lot done on this piece, but I don't think I actually pulled it out and stitched on it in 2022, if I'm honest, because I was concentrating on finish Death by CrossStitch and Winchester Mystery House, and I got into stitching on Elvis a whole lot. So I just love this little tree, this willow or whatever this is. I absolutely love that. I think that is so cute. And then there's all these little tiny animals, little rabbits and birds and deer. These little birds. There's all kinds of little motifs in here. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. So I've gotten quite a ways done. That's where it is. I will probably pick this up at some point in a rotation this year and get some stitches in on it. My goal is to try and get my number of WIPs down because I used to be a 2 project at a time kind of person. And that's changed over the years, which is fine. Nothing against anyone who stitches hundreds of charts or whatever you're working on at any given time, but it's just not, I feel overwhelmed sometimes with the amount of projects I've got going. And I would like to see more of them completed and on my walls or fully finished as, I don't know, pillows or standalone pieces or what have you. So it's been a while, but I really want to concentrate on getting some of these completed and finished. So this is the Jenny Bean Halloween sampler. And I started this one in 2021. And this is how much I've gotten done. This is on a 28 count, I believe it is. 28 count. And I coffee dyed it myself to give it that kind of older modeled kind of look. And I'm stitching on this one mostly as my Dark 13 stitching piece. So the 13th of every month I'm stitching on it, and any Friday the 13th. So it's coming along. It's not a very big piece. It's on a big piece of fabric. I just haven't trimmed the fabric down to proper size. So I don't mind that. I'll trim it down when it's finished. Okay, so that's Jenny Bean. My mom sometimes watches my videos. I'm hoping she's not going to watch this video, because then I'm going to be talking to her and she's going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got so many projects. And I knew you had a lot on the go, but I didn't know you had that much on the go. And I can just hear it. All right. This is a Christmas piece. It is a Dimensions kit, Dimensions Gold Collection, and it's called Winter's Hush. This is part of my Christmas stitching. I typically only take this out in winter to stitch on, and I stitch on it during Christmas month, during December. And this is where this one is. I'm using all of the kit materials. So this is the 16 count Ada, which is like a blue kind of color that came with the kit. And that's where my stitching is right now, how much I've gotten done on it. I am enjoying it. It is a lot to work on because there's a lot of different color changes for one. It's a paper chart, number 2. And number 3 is, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's a combination of full stitches, half stitches, and then sometimes when you do the half stitches, you're using like 3 strands of floss or 2 strands of floss. So, and there's also a lot of blended threads. So you're blending 2 colors together when you're working with it. So that's that one. That's with my Christmas pieces. Okay. This is my Elvis piece, which you've seen, especially if you follow me on Instagram. There he is in all of his glory. And here he is in all of his glory. This is how much I have done. This is really a focus piece for me this year. And I'm planning on getting him finished in 2023. My goal is to have him done by the end of September, Mama. If you're watching, I'm hoping to have it done by your birthday. If not, she'll get it by Christmas for her Christmas present this year. But I would love to have it done for her birthday. There we go. Okay. And that one is just stitched on 18 count, 2 threads over 1 on 18 count, and just regular white Ada. Nothing spectacular about that. It is a Mystic Stitch kit, which Mystic Stitch has gone out of business for anybody who doesn't know. They don't exist anymore. This is a Christmas piece, another one. I have no idea what kind of fabric this is. It's some kind of random gray-ish, very stiff. Like there's a lot of sizing in this, but it's linen. It's definitely linen. It's definitely linen because it's not really evenly woven like a Lugana or something like that. And it's super tiny. I don't know what this is. It could be 32 because it looks smaller than 28 to me. But what this is that I'm stitching is it's the Christmas Couriers by, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. What is her name? Corbett, Nora Corbett. And it's Santa's Sleigh. And I don't know if this is right side up or upside down now. I have no idea. Which way does this go? I think it goes this way. Nope, it goes this way. I have no idea. That's as much as I've gotten done. It is a picture of Santa's sleigh, but I just literally had the middle part done. And I don't know if you can see the sparkle there. I don't know if that's sparkling or not. The camera's picking it up. But all of this in the middle here and down here, that is Krynic. Some kind of silver Krynic, metallic looking, but very, very shimmery. But yeah, this piece of fabric is kind of unforgiving. It's very crunchy almost. I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely been starched. Like there's some kind of sizing added to the fabric. So it's not the most pleasant to work with, but I do like that gray color for the background of this piece. And it was a random piece of fabric I had in my stash and I just decided to use it. All right, next one. I think this is another Christmas. Oh yes. This is my Christmas moose. This is a Panna kit that I got from a Russian company at the time. I think they're Russian. They may not be from Russia itself. They may be, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they were Russian. I don't know if they're still in business or not. But there you go. That's Christmas moose. And I work on him in the Christmas time. Sometimes I work on him in the summer when I feel like stitching on him, but this is where he currently is. And again, this is the fabric that came with the chart. I didn't change it. I think it is a 16 count, and I'm stitching him 2/1 on that fabric. Excuse me. And he is freaking adorable. I love him. So I'm just adding the houses now into his antler. Yeah, he's adorable. Love it. Excuse me. Drink some of my coffee. All right, next piece. Another Christmas one. I didn't even pull this one out to work on this year. I got this when I was in New Brunswick a few years ago. This is a Mirabilia design, and it's called Santa's Magic. It's a really nice piece. Again, designed by Nora Corbett. As you know, Mirabilias use a lot of beads and Krynic and special flosses. I have gotten a nice little chunk of him done since I started him. Now, same sort of thing. I have to figure out which way this goes. It goes this way, I think. Or is that upside down? That's upside down. Yeah, it goes this way. Here we go. Got a couple threads left hanging there. They're just parked and in place. Here he is. So I've got a couple of the Christmas baubles done, and I'm coming down the middle into his beard. Now there are sections of his beard that call for whisper thread, and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I turn it a little bit, it's kind of poofy. It sticks up a little bit. And it's very, it's got a lot of fibrous bits to it. Like it's a fluffy thread. So when you stitch with it, what you do is after your stitching is all done, you go back with a little, you can only stitch with like small lengths of thread. Otherwise it gets really, the fibers almost start to let go. As you're pulling it through the fabric. But once your stitching is all done, you take something like a mascara wand or a small toothbrush, and you just very lightly fluff at the fibers, and it kind of gives this little hairy wispiness to Santa's beard. So that's where this piece is. You can't see Santa's face. I'm not up that far yet, but it's getting there. This fabric, I am not 100% certain what this is. It's a Picture This Plus fabric that I purchased in New Brunswick, I think. No, I don't know whose fabric it is. Oh, wait, now, yes, maybe I do have it written on this piece of paper. It is, oh, look, there's the whisper thread. Can you see how like there's all these wispy fibers on this? It's very fibrous-y. I don't know how to explain that anymore. It's fuzzy. It's fuzzy thread, lots of flyaways. There you go. So that's the whisper thread. It is a nightmare to work with. I don't like working with it, but it does give a nice effect. Yeah, it is. It's a Picture This Plus fabric in 28 count mellow. And I'm stitching that 2/1 on the 28 count. Okay. That's Santa. Put him away for another year. Hopefully he'll come out this Christmas. Christmas 2023. Santa needs a new project bag, I think. Yeah, what is this? Oh, this is not Christmas. This is Big Red Ship of Life. And I will add a picture of it. I am stitching it using a hand-dyed silk that I got from, oh my gosh, I forget the name of it now. If I remember, I'll add it to the screen. But it came from, it's an Australian lady, I believe. And it's this kind of rusty red silk. And there's a very, very, very slight variegation in it. Not a lot. Like some parts might be just a heather lighter than others. So this floss, I bought a hank of it. So I have lots. And what I've done is I just cut sections off the right length for me to use. And I just have it on a floss drop. And this is being stitched on 25 count antique white Lugana, the same as my Death by CrossStitch piece. And this is how much I've gotten done. So a nice little chunk, but certainly not anywhere near finished. There you go. And again, this is another one that I'm stitching 1/1. So the stitches are itty bitty bitty bitty. Teeny, teeny, tiny. I don't know if you can make it out. Those are actually little teeny, teeny, tiny X's. So again, there you go. I do really enjoy working on this piece. I just haven't had it out in a while. So this, I think, is going to be a similar size to Death by CrossStitch when it's finished. And Death by CrossStitch, I finished that in 2022. I actually showed it in my last video that I just recorded 10 minutes ago. I said, while I'm sitting here, I might as well do 2 videos at once and just get them done. Let's see what this is. Oh my gosh. All right, this is one I haven't touched in a few years. I am stitching this on a piece of 18 count Aida. And it is Garden of Delight by William Morris. It's a Haid chart, Heaven and Earth Designs. And I started this before we had, what do you call it? Before we had Pattern Keeper. And I started it when Allie was here, because Allie has this same chart. So her and I actually started it together. And this is how much I got done. Just the top section of the border. That's it. Doing one color at a time, kind of working all over that page. So this is page 1 of the design, and that is as far as it's gotten. Realistically, my full coverage pieces, I absolutely love them, but I've kind of, and this is on a huge piece of Aida. I haven't cut the Aida to size or anything. Realistically, I've decided that I want to, instead of working a little bit on each of my full coverage pieces, I want to concentrate on like one full coverage each year and get it finished. So I know I can do it. This one is even bigger than Elvis. Elvis is 121,000 stitches. This one has 185,000 stitches. 185,150 to be exact. Yeah. So it's a pretty big piece. But I'm really looking forward to getting back to it. It is stunning. I can't wait to see it up in my house. This is another full coverage Heaven and Earth design, but this one is a Christmas one. And because it's Christmas, I only take it out really and stitch on it in December, sometimes into January. This is on 25 count white Lugana, and I'm stitching it 1/1, so it's again very tiny stitches. But this is a Christmas Carol by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'll put a picture up. But this is where I am so far. There is a lot of detail in this chart, a lot of detail. You can see the little bits of snow in the sky. You can see the street lights, and the horse's head is coming out there. That's in the background. There's a clock that's not finished yet on this sign that's sticking out. A few signs sticking out from the buildings. Yeah, this is a really, really nicely done piece. It's well charted. I'm enjoying it, and I do have it in Pattern Keeper, so it is easier to work on. And I'm looking forward to getting back to it. But this is one that I'm not in any rush to finish, and I just want to work on it and enjoy the process over the next couple of years. All right. That's that piece. I think I'm getting close to the end of my actual whips. Maybe. Maybe. This is one that I started while I was visiting Ali in Australia. It is the Ink Circles tapestry, it's called. There we go. That's what it looks like. And it is charted to be stitched with some specialty floss, I believe. It is, yeah, they use, I'm not sure what, oh, Gentle Arts and sampler threads, I think. But I'm just doing mine in the DMC because it's hard for me to get stuff here. And this is how much I've gotten done of it. It is lovely. Like, I really like this piece. The colors are beautiful and the design is stunning. And I love that it's symmetrical. So there we are. It's my progress on tapestry by Ink Circles. I will be picking that back up this year and working on it probably. You'll see it pop up somewhere along the way. But it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that one. Okay, next piece I have. Oh, this is a full coverage one that I started I don't know, years ago. It is Four Seasons by Heaven and Earth Designs. And originally, I just wanted to start this for the sake of starting it and seeing what it was going to be like. And I am stitching this one on 25 count, I think it is, or maybe it's 28. I think this is 28. 1 over 1. No, sorry. 28, 2 over 1 half crosses. But I don't know. I don't enjoy the process of stitching half crosses. So this may go back to being full crosses because I only have a little start on it. So I think when I carry on, I might switch to 1 over 1 instead of 2 over 1, and it'll be full crosses instead of half crosses. And because the half crosses are so tiny, like the half stitches are so small, and I'm doing them with 2 pieces of floss, the coverage is really solid. So if I switch now to 1 over 1 full crosses, you'll still have the same amount of coverage, and I don't think you'll notice the difference in the stitching. So that's my plan with that one. I got a feeling I'm going to change that one up. All right, and again, now that I have Pattern Keeper, full coverages are a lot easier to work on. This is another full coverage. Oh my gosh. This one is from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's called A Colorful Past. I started this when I was at the when I was at a stitching retreat and went to visit Donna in Scotland. And I've only got the top corner started on that. It's mostly just the black sky with a little bit of navy blue on the bottom. I started it at the retreat and haven't really picked it up since. But I wanted to start it while I was away because now going forward, when I do decide to work on this piece, I'll have fond thoughts about stitching on it when I was with Donna. So usually if I go to some big event or something like that, I will start a new piece because I just like the thought of having those memories when I'm working on the piece. This is another one, full coverage. I think this is the last full coverage I have. This one is a piece of 28 count even weave. This is Bath Time Mermaid or something it was called, but this is the mini version. And again, I was doing this one in half crosses. And I do have a big chunk of this one done. I might continue to do it in half crosses. And I was doing 2 over 1 on the 28 count half cross and parking as I was going here. So I might continue doing the half crosses on that because I do have a nice little chunk started. We'll see how it goes. All right. And that's it for that series of pieces. I think I'm pretty much down to the nitty-gritty now. Last few here. Owl Forest Embroidery. I do have the Magical Whale or whatever that's called. Mystical Whale. Whoops. Don't think I have a needle attached to this. I hope not anyway. Oh, I do, but it's on a needle minder. So here we go. That is where I am with this piece. I love the colors of this. I think it's very whimsical and it's super cute. I love the whale design that's on it. And the floss that comes with the kit is all variegated floss. It is really pretty to work with. I mean, look at the colors in that. That is just so nice. Love that. Really, really, really pretty. So there you go. So that's the whale. This is a small piece. It's not very big. And the fabric I'm using is the piece of linen that came with it. I'm not sure what this is, if it's 32 count. but I'm stitching it 2/2 on this piece of fabric, whatever that is that's in that kit. Whoops, there's some thread sticking out. I think this one might be empty. Empty? No. So this year, when I got COVID, I had already finished Death by Cross Stitch, and I had no plans on starting another huge long dog sampler, but lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, I got COVID, so I figured I should start Pandemic. And here it is on this really amazing fuchsia pink fabric that Allison gave me when I visited her, and I am stitching it on this piece of fabric, which I'm not 100% sure the size of this fabric, but I am stitching it 1/1 on this fabric, and I love it. It looks great. And I'm using black floss, so I've got black on this fuchsia pink. I think that looks great. I really, really like the look of that. I'll be picking that up a little bit here and there throughout the year. Now, that's all of my larger pieces, because anybody who follows me or who knows me knows I don't do anything small. It's like go big or go home, right? I don't do a whole lot of smalls. I do have some smalls, and those ones are, hang on. Those ones are like the Christmas charts that are, you know, the button and beads, the Mill Hill kits. I do have several of those. But this is the last piece I'm going to show you. It's the last one I have. This is the antique 18th century band sampler by Long Dog Samplers. It was put out as a 4-part mystery band sampler in the Gift of Stitching magazine way back when. And I started this while I was visiting Allie, and I've got a lot of this done, and I think this one will actually be finished this year. Let me just move my needle minder, because it's right in the middle of the, whoops, right in the middle of the chart. There we go. Make sure my needle doesn't lose that. So this is where I am on this piece. It is beautiful. I love the colors of this piece. A lot of really pretty colors. So I'm getting down. I think I can finish this one this year. I like the fact that because it's a band sampler, once I get started on a portion of the band, following the pattern, I can just stitch the rest of that band without looking at the pattern. So I get so much started, and then I can take it to work. I can take it as a travel piece, whatever, and continue to work on it and not really need my chart with me to reference. So there you go. That's the end of my WIP parade. That's a lot of pieces, and I'm going to be doing my best to try and dwindle that down. I've had several pieces finished in the last couple of years, and I don't plan on starting anything new. I don't have any new starts at the forefront of my brain. I might start something new when I go to Stitch North, just because that's kind of my thing. But other than that, I'm sticking with the pieces I have. My goal this year is to really concentrate on the Elvis piece and get that done, as well as work on some other pieces that, like this one, that I know I can get finished this year. So I hope everyone is having a great 2023. I hope you have really good stitching plans this year. And I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye.